All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. I got another video for you. As always, I want to say thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. You guys are very knowledgeable. Love the comments. The interaction's great. In this video here, it's basically why I personally think that LeBron James has no GOAT case and could never have a GOAT case. And it doesn't have anything to do with whatever he did in the last, 10 years, 12 years, whatever, good or bad. He had some good, had some bad, doesn't matter. What it comes down to is 2009 through 2011, those 3 seasons. That, for me, eliminated him from any type of GOAT consideration. I know that the LeBron people are going to bring up 2016 as if that's his saving grace, but I always remind them, they beat a team, the 73-9 Warriors, that were hardly the same team in the playoffs as they were in the regular season. They were beat up, they were hobbled. There was injury suspensions. Curry wasn't the same player at all. I mean, they were down 3-1 in the conference finals. So an all-time great team, like the 96 Bulls, the 97 Bulls, the 72 Lakers, the 67 76ers, the all-time great teams. They didn't get down 3-1 in the conference finals. No, they plowed through everybody. Now, 2009, I have done a video on the 2009 season, but I'm going to do this one a little different way. In 2009, Cleveland Cavaliers were 66-16. That's a great record, no doubt about it. They were, if you include the playoffs, they were 76-20. What a remarkable record that is. They were 40-12 against the East and 26-4 versus the West, just waxing everybody. However, in back-to-back games, they were 16-3. But here's the thing. When they played Boston, they split with them 2-2 in the regular season. Against the Lakers, they were 0-2. And against Orlando, 1-2. That comes to 3-6 versus the top 3 teams in the NBA. 63-10 versus everyone else. Now, if you include the playoffs, they were 71-10 against anybody not named Boston, Orlando, or LA. And obviously, they were going to have to play either Boston or Orlando in the conference finals, and the Lakers are waiting on them, and they had issues against them. Now, that year, they were the 2009 Lakers. They were first in opponents' points per game, number 1 in allowing those points. They were the 4th rated offense, the 3rd rated defense, and the 1st net. A very good team. Mo Williams averaged 17.8 points per game. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Kobe Bryant's best sidekick for the team that won it in 2009 was Pau Gasol. He was given 18.9, so, about a point more a game. That's it. The first round, they played the 39-43 Pistons. They blasted them. They didn't have Allen Iverson even. They crushed them. Atlanta was 47-35, swept them too. No problem. Then they play Orlando, a team that beat them 2 out of 3 in the regular season. Cleveland was up on this team in the first half. They could have set the tone by 16 points at halftime, at home in game 1. And they lost that game. Of course, you're going to put it squarely on LeBron James. He's the leader of the team. He's the one who makes it all go. He's the floor general, all those kind of things. I don't want to hear about supporting cast. You won 66 games, okay? Your supporting cast was clearly good enough for that particular season to win 66 games and sweep the first 2 rounds in the playoffs like it was nothing. The fact is that whenever they ran into a real team, they had problems. like I said, they were 5-10 in the playoffs against the playoffs and regular season combined against Boston, Orlando, and the Lakers. 5-10. 71-10 against everybody else. That's insane. So 81 games, you lose only 10 games against 26 teams in the league. Against these 3 teams, you go 5-10. You lose just as many, but only played 15. That's crazy to me. That's insane. So the first round Pistons were the 21st rated offense, the 16th ranked defense, 17th net. Okay, Atlanta was 10th offense, 12th defense, 13th net. Orlando was 11th offense, 1st defense, and 4th net, what you'd expect in a conference final team. So whenever they play against a real team, waxed. The Lakers had to play Utah in the first round. They were 8th offensively, 10th defensively, 9th net. In the first round, that's a tough matchup. In the next round, they played Houston, who was 14th offensively, 4th defensively, 6th net. So they played 2 of the top 9 in the first 2 rounds. Then in the Western Conference Final, Denver, who was the 8th net-rated team. And, the Lakers won. They won the whole thing. They beat the team in 5 games that beat LeBron in Cleveland in 2009 in 6 games. What can you say? Okay. In 2010, the next year, they had the best record in the NBA again, 61-21. 6th rated offense, 7th rated defense, number 2 net team in the NBA. They were 38-14 against the East, 23-7 against the West. Against the best 3 teams again, Orlando, Boston, LA, they were 6-4 combined against those teams. So they even got a little better. First round against Chicago was 41-41. They were 27th offensively, 11th defensive, 18th net. That's not great. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, they played Boston. Boston had a good run there. They did. But they were 15th ranked offensively, 5th defensive, and the 9th net rated team. Well, Cleveland was up 2-1 in that series. 2-1. And somehow lost 3 in a row. To lose it 4-2. Mo Williams is still giving you 15.8 points a game. Anton Jamison came over at the trade deadline. He's giving you 15.8 points a game. Shaq's giving you 12, and I think it even went up to 13-something in the playoffs. Anders and Varejao, 8.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, whatever. But he was 9th for Defensive Player of the Year. So he had supporting cast there. Those are some good players. Even though I know Shaq was older, he was just coming off being 3rd team All-NBA in 2009. Look it up. But Mo Williams is coming off being an all-star. Anton Jamison, who, was a good player. He's 33. He might be right at the edge of his prime or maybe just starting to be outside of it. But still, you could have utilized these guys and you could have easily, got to the finals and maybe won a championship. But that didn't happen. Now, LeBron, in that Boston series, one of the problems is he had 7.2 assists, which is fine, but 4.5 turnovers a game. Well, right there, that's squarely on LeBron. He shot 44.7% from the field, 26.9% for 3, 74% from the free throw. All those numbers were down compared to what he did in the regular season. Yeah, Boston was a pretty tough defensive team, but you were the better team. You had home court advantage. This is what I'm talking about. This isn't about if LeBron is an all-time great player, if he deserves to be a top 25 player. No, this is for the GOAT. These are the reasons why he is disqualified from the GOAT. 2009, 2010, 66 games, 61 games. Don't want to hear a thing about supporting cast. I don't want to hear it. 2011, Miami. He goes to Miami. They're 58-24. 3rd offensive rated team, 5th defensive rated team, 1st net rated team. They were 1st in SRS, which is what was that again? It's basically just a rating for how strong a team is. So they're the number 1 strongest team in the NBA. So in April, Miami was 6-1. They go 12-3 in the East playoffs. So they're 18-4 going into the finals. Red hot. Now, in the regular season, though, the Miami was only 1-8 against Chicago, Boston, and Dallas in the regular season. The three teams they played in the playoffs. Well, they beat Boston in 5, they beat Chicago in 5, and they were up 2-1 on Dallas. What happened? Well, Philly, who was 41-41, was the 13th net rated team. Boston was 56-26, the 6th net rated team. Pretty good. The Miami beat them in 5. And then Chicago, who was 62-20, the second net rated team in the league, Miami beat them in 5 without any real problems. They were up 2-1 on Dallas. Now, before we get too crazy about Dallas, I just heard the other day about somebody trying to make a case for them as having this one of the best runs of all time. Dallas was a 57-25 team. This was no slouch. Okay, the first round they beat, I think it was like a 44-win Portland team. Okay, whatever. No big deal. They played the Lakers. Yeah, they were 2-time defending champions, but they were also a 57-win team, so they're equal. Okay? The next round, Oklahoma City was a 55-win team, so Dallas had home court advantage. Actually, was a little better than them. And in the finals, Miami is a 58-win team, only 1 win better. Not like they went on some crazy run like the 95 Rockets or anything like that. But on his team, LeBron James had Dwayne Wade averaging 25.5 points a game, was second-team All-NBA, 7th in MVP. Chris Bosh averaging 18.7 points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game, was an all-star. Pretty damn good third option, don't you think? Michael Jordan never had anybody with that kind of line on as his third best. Certainly not Horace Grant. Rodman was a defensive stopper, but he wasn't giving him points like that. But anyway, so LeBron James in the regular season averaged 26.7 points per game on 51% shooting. In the playoffs, 23.7 on 46.6% shooting. In the finals, LeBron averaged 17.8 points per game. That's not very good for the GOAT, would you say? He was third on his team in points per game. He had no game where he had a game score over 20 after game 1. So games 2 through 6, no game score over 20. He got outscored by Jason Terry in games 4, 5, and 6, 65-46. That's pathetic. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. That 3-year stretch right there. And right before, when Miami was up 2-1 on Dallas, they were 14-4 in the playoffs. 14-4. What would make you think that Miami was not going to win that series? It was crazy. And one other thing I want to add because of this 3-year stretch, I looked into this, and the only times in NBA history that a top 75 player won 58 or more games, 3 consecutive seasons, and did not win a championship. Okay? 1972, 73, and 74 Milwaukee Bucks. That covers Kareem and Oscar Robertson. Kareem's another story, and I've done videos on that. But that's not very good. Now, I know the 72 Lakers were historically great, but in 73, they got upset by a 48-win Golden State team. And in 74, they had home court advantage, Game 7 at home against Boston, and lost. Inexcusable in my mind. If we're talking GOAT, okay? The next time it happened was the Philadelphia 76ers in 1980, 81, and 82. They won 59, 62, and 58 games. Now, Philly wasn't the consensus best team in the league all 3 of those years. Boston was in 80, 81, I think also in 82. All 3 years, Boston was technically the 1 seed, was better than them. But still, whatever, they didn't. But they did win the championship the next season, 83, but still, Dr. J has to own that. 80, 81, 82, 3 years in a row, won 58 or more and did not win a championship. And the only other time it's happened, because only 3 times this has happened, was LeBron James from 2009 to 2011, winning 66 games in 2009, 61 games in 2010, and 58 games in 2011. That's just another thing to say. this isn't something that happens very often because, great players, when they have great teams like this, they win championships. Well, LeBron only even made the finals once. These teams, Philly made the finals twice in their stretch, and Milwaukee, I guess they only made the finals once in 74. But it's just to show that this right here is why LeBron James should be disqualified from GOAT conversation. 66 wins, being the only team in the East in the last 50 years to win 65 or more games and not win the championship. Okay, that's a huge black mark in 09 right there. Okay, in 2010, you're up 2-1 and you lose the series. What can you say? You were a 61 win team, number one, the best team in the NBA. Losing the second round like that? Oh, no. That's another black mark. And in 2011, to be up 2-1 in the finals, there's just no excuse for it. To have an 8-point game, a 17-point game, a 21-point, whatever it is, and get outscored by 21 points in the last 3 games by Jason Terry, the third leading scorer on your team. Another huge black mark. I'm sorry. So anyway, that is my rebuttal right there for why LeBron James could never be the GOAT because of those 3 seasons alone. Now, there's other things you can bring up, positive or negative. Sure, the no MVPs in 10 seasons, no all defenses in 10 seasons. Sure, I get that. You can bring up, he won the bubble ring, or, the 2016 against 73-win team. I just talked about that. Wasn't the same team in the playoffs as it was in the regular season. Obviously, something was afoot there. But anyway, all I'm saying is, both individually and team-wise, 2009 through 2011 is why LeBron James could never stake claim to the GOAT because of that. And there's plenty of players that have, flaws and shortcomings. But there's 2 that don't. Bill Russell and Michael Jordan. They don't have shortcomings. They don't have upsets on their resume. I mean, yeah, you can look at the 58 finals for Russell, but he was also injured for half that series. So it's kind of hard to hold it against him. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. There's my case, and I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot of hate for it. But hey, that's why. Right after 2011, I said, I didn't say GOAT at the time because he was not even sniffing GOAT. But I was just thinking like, wow, man, this guy is just disappointment after disappointment. Now he's doing it to Miami. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching, and that's it for now.